he got drafted. Yes, he did. And this is how he handled it. With his wild electric eyeballs and his cigarette machine, he could play that old guitar like no man you ever seen. He was Southern, he was Central, he was easy, he was mean. He was Saratoga Billy, called him Billy Dean. He could sound the strings like silver or a dead man in the shade. And it's many a lonesome midnight soul that came to where his songs are played. He was a rambler and a gambler, and you could not tie him down. As well they do remember in that Saratoga town. Well, one fine day a letter came from the army that did say, we'd like to make a man of you in the old American way. So he got all of his things together and he rode off down the track. Oh, but in no time at all, it seems like Billy Dean was back. Well, he stayed away so very long, but in trouble deep he grew. And everybody got nervous, but there was nothing he would do. Until one day they found him, he was playing his guitar. And they took him to the city in a government car. While working on the highway on the stockade crew, he saw a car of people. This is 1965. He was only passing through. He waved an arm to signal, and they stopped to let him in. And when the guard turned his head around, Billy Dean was gone. Well, then the army fathers, well, they all got so mad at Saratoga Billy, who had done bad. They puffed and they sputtered, and they almost lost their minds. For in Saratoga country, Billy Dean was hard to find. Well, it's been many years now since I seen him last, and I just don't have the time, oh, to spend on the past. Yeah, but sometimes I wonder Sometimes I think when it's late in the evening or I've had too much to drink, with his wide electric eyeballs and his cigarette machine, he could play that old guitar like no man you ever seen. He was Southern, he was Central, he was easy, he was mean. He was Saratoga Billy, they called him Billy Dean. He was Saratoga Billy, they called him Billy Dean. This is a song about a friend of mine passed away a few years back. He was a singer and he brought people up there. He brought them up as a, well, he was doing a gig in Seattle, and I won't tell you the story, I'll sing it to you. But I wonder sometimes. His name was Jeffrey Kane. Well, I'll tell you a story, my friend, from the Vietnam days way back when. Body counts mountain on the wall. You had to do something about it all. That's when the singer took a trip up to Washington State. It was a good day to travel on the interstate. Two hitchhikers, all of 19, traveling real light with their heads shaved clean. The singer picked him up, he had room in the car. He says, I'll take you where you're going if it's not too far. We're going up to Canada, they said it kind of slow. Seems like the place to go. Now you can trust a stranger if you give him a chance, and there's a million stories in a sideways glance. The singer knew he had a long-range view. I'm only going to Seattle, he said, but I'll see what I can do. The interstate's a long, straight, blacktop line. You can do a lot of thinking while the time unwinds. Leaving California for the evergreen land. Pretty soon the singer had a plan. Stopping for supplies like anybody might do. Get a map and a compass and a flashlight too. Canteens for water, fruit enough to last. Going on to Seattle, but they drive right past. Almost to the border, take the side road to the hill. Here's your map and your compass and a $20 bill. Canada's that way, it's a straight shot. Good luck and goodbye, and don't get caught. And then the singer drove away in a darkening breeze, and two shadows disappeared in the evergreen trees. And that's a measure of a war. Try to tip the balance just a little bit more. Now, I was there when the singer came in late, muttering something about the interstate. The songs were good and the music was fine, and that's what kept us going most of the time. And that's the end of my story, my friend, from the Vietnam days way back when, about a singer on the road and the AWOL kid, how you had to do something, and that's what they did. Thank you. I'm enjoying myself. I love playing coffee houses. They're my favorite. I've had enough bars to last me, oh God, I don't know, the rest of mine, everybody else's life. And then lo and behold, about 10 years ago, 15 years ago or something, all of a sudden it all broke down. Ain't it cool? Nobody needs record companies anymore. I mean, it's kind of nice maybe sometimes if you got one, but by and large, you don't need them. You can record on your computer at home, mix it yourself, put it out yourself, distribute it over the internet. The record companies just sit around somewhere and twiddle their thumbs. So I got one of those self-made CDs here. I got a couple of them, actually. I go into studios, though, because, I just can't run those boards like somebody that knows what they're doing. It's like I can change my spark plugs and oil and stuff like that, but a real engine overhaul, I'm going to go to someone that knows what they're doing, right? But I design the covers and all that stuff, and I am my own record company. That's right. And this is on one of those records. And they're still records, because record is short for recording. And I don't care what the medium is. If you went into a studio or went in front of a microphone and it went down somewhere and stayed down, you recorded it. And when you put it out as a recording. So this song is called Menong. And Menong is a town in Taiwan. A little town where I played a music festival. In Menong, in the valley of the butterfly, time doesn't go very fast. Things just seem to last. In Menong, I saw a butterfly dance like a butterfly does. It made me think about how clumsy I was. In Menong, I saw a man on a bicycle balancing a load of wood. His balance was that good. In Menong, I saw a family of 5 on a motor scooter going out for a drive. In Menong. And it's a big round world. Yes, it is, all around the world. It's a big round world. Yes, it is, all around the world. In Menong, there was a temple on the hillside. I prayed to the Buddha for the flower to open up wide. In Menong, I drank the good strong ginger tea, and it agreed with me. In Menong, everything grew, tomato and a pepper and a beetle nut too. In Menong, I ate the green grass, the fish and the squid, and everybody else did too. In Menong. And it's a big round world. Yes, it is, all around the world. It's a big round world. Yes, it is, all around the world. That's right. In Menong, there was a melon so sweet and juicy on my sweater, and something like an apple, only better. In Menong, the sun flew by on a butterfly breeze. A ricochet winged way up in the trees. In Menong, my spirit got lighter and my head got clear. I thought to myself, I'm gonna stay right here in Menong. In Menong. And it's a big round world, yes it is, all around the world. It's a big round world, yes it is, all around the world. Now, I was told when I was over there that in their language they speak mostly Mandarin, or a form of Mandarin. They don't say goodbye. They say see you next time, which I thought was kind of nice, so I wound up the song that way. In Menong, all around the circle eternity flows. But after a while you gotta go, I suppose. In Menong, everybody's got a home and I got mine. And don't say goodbye, say see you next time in Menong. In Menong. And it's a big round world, yes it is, all around the world. It's a big round world, yes it is, all around the world. Oh, it's a big round world, yes it is, all around the world. It's a big round world, all around the world. Anybody remember Jim Hind? Yeah. Jim was a great, big, likable guy. He looked like Santa Claus, you know. He was a Vietnam veteran, Navy. He was on the USS Thomaston. He had security clearance. And the clearance was so thorough that he couldn't remember most of what happened over there. Jim was my best friend in Seattle for probably 10 years. When I met him, he was selling cars in Bellevue. Used cars. He lost that job because, you know, a family would come in, they'd say, we want to buy a car, and they would go up to a station wagon, they would look at it and say, we like this car, and Jim would walk up and say, you know, you don't want this. He would tell them why. And the boss found out. Then he worked in a guitar store for a while, being a salesman over there. That didn't work out too much either. But he said to me one day, he says, I want to sing and play guitar and write songs. And I said, okay. If that's what you want to do, then that has to be all you do. Because if you have something to fall back on, you will. So he asked his wife, Janet, he says, Janet, I want to play down at the Pike Street Market. Is that okay with you? And they were living in a little apartment in Fremont, being apartment managers, eating pancakes made with water for dinner. They had 2 kids. Sometimes they had to choose between coffee and toilet paper. They'd get the coffee. I mean, you can always use newspaper, right? So Janet says, okay, Jim, if that's what you want to do, you go ahead and do it. And Jim went down to the Pike Street Market and got himself a permit. And for the next 10 years, maybe 20 years, I don't remember how long it was, he played down there every day of the week like it was a job. And I watched him start to write songs. And I watched those songs get better. Until one day he wrote this. Well, I was 18 and change when the telephone rang, calling me to report to the sea. Vietnam War raged on every front page of the country. So I sailed to the war of a faraway shore, with boys no wiser than I. Too young to vote, hoping too young to die. Serving time for the crime of being born American male, where sons become brothers in arms or brothers in jail. Well, perhaps it was love or self-prescribed drugs, or the limbo of lost out at sea, sailing that line beyond reason and rhyme. Frank, Dennis, and me. I recall the resorts and all the opium ports, but truth shines later in life. For the plight of the pawn, it pales in the light of the king. How convenient is the God who would spare not the rod and send his only child to die, when in the hands of a power intent on only saving a life. I turned 21 years old, coming home from the South China Sea, slapping paint on the rust of the sinking American dream. And did the home fires burn for the hero's return? Or was the red carpet rolled to the sea? Where was the parade when democracy was saved by Frank, Dennis, and me? Now I can see in my son where he'd have marched to the gun, how his soul would wither and die. I know how that goes. Far too long it's been happening to mine. May the damage done me by the powers that be never be done unto mine. And may the criminals and foes be exposed by history and time. For Dennis and I swore that the Vietnam War will have ended at the moment when honor prevails with justice demanded. And as the names on the wall of the Washington Mall await the dead to return from the sea, those veterans still dying a day at a time with Frank, Dennis, and me. For Dennis and I swore that the Vietnam War will have ended at the moment when honor prevails with justice demanded. And as the names on the wall of the Washington Mall await the dead to return from the sea, those veterans still dying a day at a time with Frank, Dennis, and me. That right. For me, the defining icon of the end of the 20th was the WTO in Seattle. And the defining iconic moment for the beginning of the 21st century, even though, yeah, it did happen right then, was Quebec, was that fence going down. You know, one little skinny kid up there rocking the fence down. So I wrote this. We are born of nature and in nature we will die. Oh, and if we don't make it, it's not because we didn't try. No, it's not because we didn't try. They say they will incorporate the world over my dead body, over my dead body, over my dead body, over my. They have all the money, we have the will, and I would rather be a match than a paper dollar bill. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. They have the guns, all we are is flesh and blood, but we will multiply our numbers and drown them in our flood. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. They say they will incorporate the world over my dead body, over my dead body, over my dead body, over my. They have all the power, yeah, that's what they say. But we will turn those tables, take their power away. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. We will not be dissuaded, and we will not turn around. We will face the barricades, and we will tear them down. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. They say they will incorporate the world over my dead body, over my dead body, over my dead body, over my. You can call me a fool, that's alright with me. I will live to see this good round world breaking free. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. They say they will incorporate the world over my dead body, over my dead body, over my dead body, over my. One more time. They say they will incorporate the world over my dead body, over my dead body, over my dead body, over my.